So life appears to be grounded in genetic information. How does the existence of information in the cell point to a designer?
Well, you can use a very simple argument. If you're walking along the beach in Brighton and you see in the sand, John loves Mary, you don't assume the waves did that.
Sure. Or
crabs came out of the water and made that message. You know that a message, even a short message like John loves Mary, requires a mind, because natural forces don't create messages. And so a short message like that, if that requires a mind, how about a message 3.2 billion letters long in every one of our 32 or every one of our 40 trillion cells?
Yeah.
That's got to come from a mind as well. Even Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, said DNA is like a computer program, but it's far, far more advanced than any software we've ever created. Well, where I come from, if there's a program, there's got to be a programmer. If there's a code, there's got to be a coder. If there's a message, there's got to be a messenger. And so what we see in DNA is really, it's like binary code. And binary code only comes from a mind. It doesn't come from an impersonal force. It doesn't come from the four natural forces of nature: strong and weak nuclear forces, electromagnetism, and gravity. You don't get messages from those things.
Sure.
And every living thing has a message. Even the simplest living thing, an amoeba, has at least 1,000 volumes worth of an encyclopedia of information in it.
Wow.
Even Richard Dawkins admits that. Well, where does that come from? It can't come from natural forces. It comes from a mind. And I know the atheists are going to quickly say, oh, this is a God of the gaps argument. No, it's not a God of the gaps argument. We're not arguing from a gap in our knowledge. When you see John loves Mary on the sand, you don't just lack a natural explanation for that. You don't just have a gap in your knowledge about natural forces. It's that John loves Mary is positive, empirically verifiable evidence for an intelligent cause.
Yes.
Same thing is true with our genetic code. So we're arguing from what we do know, not from what we don't know.
Sure. And you've got epigenetics too. That's kind of even more advanced.
Yeah, that's really the structure of the cell.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't have a code sitting out in the middle of nowhere. It's got to be within a structure of a cell. And Stephen Meyer is really the brains behind this. Stephen Meyer, who wrote Signature in the Cell and Darwin's Doubt. In fact, his book Darwin's Doubt goes into epigenetic information, that the structure of a living thing has to be in such a manner that it can live, and you can't build it randomly. And DNA doesn't give you the structure.
Right.
See, even if you could mutate DNA from now till doomsday, you'll never get a new body type, because DNA doesn't alter the epigenetic information or the structure. It just alters the code itself, which codes for proteins. So it's not giving you the structure on that. And so this is why, as you know, that your own Royal Society there in London back in 2016 called a meeting in November of 2016 to investigate a new theory of macroevolution, because the current neo-Darwinian theory doesn't work.
Doesn't work, no.
You can't just mutate DNA and get what you want in new body plans. Epigenetic information prevents that, among many other things. So the current theory of Darwinism doesn't work. They're going to keep looking.